तं तं एवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु माम् अनुस्मारयुध्य च मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धि मामे वैश्यस्य संशयः अभ्यासयोगयुक्तेन चेतसा नान्यगम्निना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं याति पार्थानुचिन्तयन् कविं पुराणमनुशस्तारम् अनोरणीयं सुमनुस्मरेत् यः सर्वस्य दातारम् अचिन्त्य रूपं मदिन्त्यवर्णं तं सपरस्तत् प्रयाणकाले मनसचलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव ध्रुवोर्मध्ये प्रणाम्यावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परमं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम् यद् अक्षरं विदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्वयतयो वितरगारागः यद् इच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मृदिनीयाद्यात्मनः प्रणाम आस्तितो योगधारणाम् ॐ इति एकक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन् मामनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहं स यति परमां गतिम् अनन्यचेतः सततम् यो मां स्मरति निश्चयः तस्याहं सुलभः पार्थ नित्ययुक्तस्य योगिनः माम् उपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयमशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गताः आब्रह्म भुवनल्लोकाः पुनरवर्तिनोऽर्जुन मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तम् आहर्यद्ब्रह्मणो विदुः रात्रिं युगसहस्रान्तां ते होरात्रविदो जनाः अव्यक्ताद्व्यक्तः व्यक्त्यः सर्वाः प्रभवन्ति अहरागमे रात्रि अगमे प्रलीयन्ते तत्रैव व्यक्तसंज्ञके भूतग्रामः स एवायं भूतभूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्रि आगमे वश्य पार्थ प्रभवति अहरागमे परस्तस्मात् भावोऽन्यो व्यक्तो व्यक्त्यात् सनातनः यः स सर्वेषु भूतेषु नास्त्यत्सु न विनाश्यति अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इति युक्तास्तम् अहुः परमां गतिं यं प्राप्य न विनिवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम पुरुषः स पार्थ परः पार्थ भक्त्या लाभ्यस्व अनन्यया यस्यान्तः स्थानि भूतानि येन सर्वमिदं ततम् Yatra kale tva avirtim chaiva yoginaha prayata yanti tam kalam yakshami bharatarsabha Agnirjyotirahar शुक्लाः सन्मासा उत्तरायणम् तत्र प्रयत गच्छन्ति ब्रह्म विदो जनः धूमो रात्रिस्ततः कृष्णः सन्मास दाक्षिणायणम् तत्र चन्द्रमसं ज्योति योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते शुक्लकृष्णगति ये ते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया याति अनावृत्तिम् अनन्या वर्तते पुनः नैते श्रुतिपार्थज्ञानान् योगी मुह्यति काश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगी युक्तो भवार्जुन वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम् हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. So we can read the translation, I guess, because this is very small chapter. It contains only 28, but very important chapter.
Mataji.
Um,
Arjuna inquired,
yeah.
uh, Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Who is the Lord of sacrifice and how does he live in the body, O Madhusudana? How can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the Self. Action pertaining to the development of the material bodies of the living entities is called karma or fruitive activities. O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature which is constantly changing is called Adhibhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, are called Adhidaiva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied being, I am called Adi Yajna, the Lord of sacrifice. And whoever, at the end of this life, quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time, you should carry out your prescribed duties of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature. One who, at the time of death, fixes his life hair between his eyebrows and the strength of yoga, and with an undeviating mind, engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion, will certainly attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter the Omkara, and who are great sages in the renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagement, closing all doors of senses and fixing mind on the heart and the life where at the top of the head one establishes himself in yoga. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Parth, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from unmanifested state, and thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives and all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are all helplessly annihilated. Yet there is another unmanifest nature, which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all this when all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as is. That which the Vedantis describe as the unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as a supreme destination, that place from which having once attained one never returns, that is my supreme abode. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does not come back. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery God in the light, at the auspicious moment of day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. The mystic who passes away from the world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet but comes again. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when one passes in darkness, he returns. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the result derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, chanting for a little while and then let's go for japa.
Okay. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे पौरवाणि प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय हो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण
Yeah. We can do the japa, I guess. Um, one second. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Can you see my screen? You can all see the screen, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram, 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 Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Hare,
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram, Ram,
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
Yeah,
Hare
yesterday's
Krishna.
class, Hare Krishna, yesterday's class, 7th chapter we did, right? So, Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna everybody. So yesterday we did 7th chapter. Okay, today is the 8th chapter which speaks about attaining the Supreme. Okay, Krishna says about how to attain him or how to go to his abode. Today, yesterday we discussed about how Krishna is different from all other demigods, how he gives permanent satisfaction for his devotees, but normally other demigods don't give, and how a devotee does his devotional service, and it's better than doing karma yoga or other yogas. Even in the 6th chapter we discussed about ashtanga yoga. It's better than doing those things. It's better you do bhakti yoga or devotional service. And I said, as it is, like 7th chapter to the 12th chapter, it's the nectar part of the Bhagavad Gita or butter part of the Bhagavad Gita. Rest of this is just a buttermilk. So this is a very beautiful chapter, and also it speaks about how a devotee can attain the permanent supreme abode of Lord Krishna and serve him there. Okay, this is Akshara Brahma Yoga. So now this is the 8th chapter, and Arjuna inquired. What does he ask now? Oh my Lord, oh Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is self? And what are the fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. And again he says in 8.2, how does this Lord of sacrifice live in the body, and which part does he live, O Madhusudana? And how can those engaged in the devotional service know you at the time of death? So now Arjuna is asking these 8 questions. So totally together there are 8 questions in the 8th chapter in the beginning. So Arjuna asked these questions. Now every chapter has some kind of connection in the previous chapter. Now Arjuna he comes to inquire these questions because in the previous chapter there is some kind of a connection to this Brahman and all the about demigods and material manifestation, fruitive activities. Everything has a connection in the previous chapter. So in the previous chapter, this 7.29, 7.30 shloka has come. In that, Krishna says about Brahman. He says about Adhyatma, the self, and also he tells about Adi Yajna, the supreme beneficiary of all the sacrifices, and Adi Daivam, all the demigods, and all this at the Pranaya Kala, at the death. So he is actually asking on the basis of these 2 shlokas in the previous chapter. So now he is asking these 8 questions on the basis of these 2 shlokas of the previous chapter. Okay. Let's see what Arjuna asks and what is the answer for this. So Arjuna asks, what is Brahman? Brahman means, you have heard Aham Brahmasmi, right? I am the spirit, I am the Jiva or the soul. That is Brahman. There are 2 things. If there is a dash over here, A, after above A is Brahman, and this is Brahman. Brahman means spirit. Brahman is different, Brahman is different. Please note, many of them do this mistake while even reading. So many of them read Brahman as Brahman and Brahman as Brahman. So this is Brahman, which means Jiva, indestructible living entity. So the soul. Okay. And then Adhyatma, the controller of the body, nature of Jiva or self. Okay. The self. And then Adi Bhuta, which means material nature. And Adi Daiva means universal form, which includes all the demigods. Okay. Universal form of Lord, which contains all the demigods in him. And Adi Yajna, this enjoyer of the sacrifices, Paramatma. He's sitting in everybody's heart. So next question is, where is Adi Yajna resides? Arjuna asks, no, where does he reside? So he resides in everybody's heart. There are two people in the heart. One is soul, which is me or the soul, Jiva. And the second one is Paramatma, who is Krishna himself. He is sitting in everybody's heart as Paramatma. Then he asks, how to remember Krishna at the time of death? How to remember him at the time of death? Practice remembrance throughout life. Okay. How to remember Krishna at the time of death? How to remember? By practicing, constant practice. We almost forget that this life is just to practice, and life, the death is an exam. So whatever you have done, practice in this whole life, you will be giving exam at the time of death by remembering the Lord. Okay. So again, what is karma? He asked, no, the fruitive activities leading to actions leading to material body. Now let's see what is the connection between Adhyatma, Adi Bhuta and Adi Daiva. So Adhyatma means me, I am the soul, and Adi Bhuta means material nature. So let's take an example of I have my eyes, right? I'm seeing something now. I'm seeing this laptop. So I have my eyes. And what is the sense is eyesight. And who is seeing? Who is the seer? Me. That is self, Adhyatma. Adi Bhuta is what I'm using to see, my eyes, as Adi Bhuta. And Adi Daiva is the one who is actually helping us to see. The demigod which is helping us to see is Adi Daiva. So these three are connected. So this is the material thing which we are using to do something, and this is me who is doing, and this is the Daiva, the demigod, which is helping us to do these things. So and who is Adi Yajna? He's the enjoyer of all the sacrifices, or the Paramatma, or the Lord. And where does he reside as Paramatma? He resides in everybody's heart. So there is no concept of I am the super soul, because super soul is different, the Paramatma is different, and the Atma is different here. And Krishna is defining this. And this 8th chapter is dealing with the 8th question here, how to remember Krishna at the time of death. This whole chapter is answering this question of Arjuna, how to remember Krishna at the time of death. So one by one, Krishna is answering through. We will go through the shlokas. Okay, the Supreme Lord said, the indestructible transcendental living entity is called Brahman. So who is Brahman? The soul, or the transcendental indestructible soul is called, which is a living entity, which is also called as his eternal nature is called the self. What is the nature of the soul? Is self. And then action pertaining to the development of these material bodies is called karma. Whatever the work, action he does, or he is coming through, and or whatever his karmas, whatever the work he is doing, the fruitive activity of that work, fruitive activities are called karma. So the soul, his nature is the self, and this thing, what he does is karma. Okay, so here we can see what all kind of karma, and the karma actually takes us to the next birth here. Okay, so a man who is fully indulged in sex desires, it is better he become a dog, because dog can do anywhere in the road also, right? It's better he becomes a dog in next life. He actually becomes a dog in next life, whose mentality is such, and who it's whatever he gets, whatever thing he gets which is not prescribed in shastras, he better become a pig. And then who is then doing more of the charity works to giving to the brahmanas, he will go to the heavenly planets because he has incurred punyas. And then who does the devotional service, he will go to the supreme abode, which is eternal, which is permanent, and he will go there, whoever does the devotional work. So, physical nature is known to be endlessly mutable. The universe is cosmic form of the Lord, and I am the representative as the supersoul dwelling in the heart of every embodied being. Okay, so physical nature is endlessly mutable, and Krishna is present in the cosmos as supreme Lord, and who is representing him? The Paramatma, who is the form of Krishna himself. And then he says in the 8.5, this is very important shloka, where Krishna says, Antakalecha mameva smaran mukva kalevaram yaha prayati sa madbhavam yati nasti atra samshayaha. So he says, and whoever at the time of death quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. He says, there is no doubt one who remembers me at the time of death, he will certainly come to Krishna's abode. He will certainly go to Goloka or Vaikunta. There is no doubt. Krishna himself says, once whoever remembering me alone, he says, Antakalecha mam eva, only me, mam eva, only me, not in anyone else. Only me, he will certainly come to me, and there is no doubt. Atra samshaya, there is no doubt, he says. And then this is actually a shloka from Mahabharata, which says hundreds and once what happened was Yaksha, he actually made all other Pandavas, when they came to drink the water, he asked question and they could not answer, and all of them were fainted down. And when Yamadharma or Yudhishthira came, he actually saw his brothers lying down, and he asked Yaksha, what is your question? So he's told that I am asking you a question, Yudhishthira, tell me clearly that what is the most surprising thing in this world? He asked, what is the most surprising thing in this world? And Yudhishthira, he knows, he already is a Yama Dharmaraya, who is the incarnation of Yama. So he already knows, and he says, hundreds and thousands of living entity meet death every moment, but a foolish living being, nonetheless thinks himself deathless and does not prepare for death. And there's no wonderful thing in this is the most wonderful thing in this world. So every day we see thousands of living entity die, maybe humans, maybe animals, maybe the ant, even that dies. Every living entity dies, hundreds and thousand people we see, but we are not preparing for our death. We think we are deathless. That's the most surprising thing, he says. And then this is from Mahabharata, the shloka. Okay, next let's see in 8.6, 8.5, what does he say? Krishna says, at the time of death, whoever remembers me alone, only Krishna, he will get the supreme abode, and there is no doubt. But he says, whoever does not remember me now, yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajantante kalevaram tam evaiti konteya sad tadbhava bhavitaha. Whenever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. Okay. Like whatever you have prepared for your whole life and whatever you have too much attached to, uh, and you will remember at the time of death, right? Like exam, whatever you have prepared for more, that will certainly come to your mind when this question comes, right? In the same way, whatever you have prepared or whatever you have done whole life, you will remember that at the time of death. And whatever type of body you remember at the time of death, you will certainly get that type of a body. So one, you remember Krishna and get back to Krishna, eternal and permanent place, or else you will remember something which is temporary, or you will remember whatever you are attached to, and you will get that body in the next life. And Krishna says, Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavam, whichever, whatever state of being one remembers, however one remembers. Some people are more attached to a dog, and at the time of death they remember the dog. Next life they will certainly become, they will certainly become that kind of an animal or that kind of a person if they do not remember to the Lord. And that's 8.5. He says, remember me alone. Whoever remembers me at the time of death, he will certainly come to me. Here Bhishma Pitama, you can see, no, he was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, but normally no one knows this. And although this modern age, even in the TV serials we see something negative about Krishna's and Bhishma's relationship, but in Shastras and in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhishma, it is this, no, at the death time, he actually prays to Krishna and says, all the Pandavas, whoever is standing in front of you, this person is not your cousin or friend, he is Narayana himself. And he says like that. And you can see in Bhagavatam, there is a Bhishma Stuti, which Bhishma sings for Lord Krishna, in the praise of Lord Krishna. So that kind of a death is rare, and everybody has to prepare for that kind of a death. But some people, they do not remember Krishna, but they remember something else, and they will become that in their next life. So we have a story of Bharat Maharaj. And so once I said the story, but let me still briefly tell you what the story is again. So Bharat Maharaj, he is the son of Rishabhadev. So after him, he was a great king, and because of his greatness, this India is named as Bharatvarsh, not that any other Bharata. He is the Bharata, and on his name, Bharatvarsh was being kept. And then at the young age, like after getting married, when his child was young, at that time only he gave the kingdom to his child. And he was so much, he was a great king by himself and very transcendent person. And he thought like, better not to waste my life, and even in the young age I'll leave everything and go to the forest and do yajnas. He was such a person, when he went to the forest and he was doing yajna and meditating on the Lord, tears would come into his eyes, and so much transcendent, so much. And then what happened one day was, while he was doing yajna, he saw a she deer which was actually passing, or which was jumping from the stream or the river, who was scared of the tiger. Tiger was behind that she deer, and in the scare, it was pregnant, and in that frightenedness, it jumped from above the water, and premature delivery happened, and a baby deer fell into the river. And that she deer, out of fear, it died after going a far miles, and it died. And Bharat Maharaj saw this scene, and he felt compassion, he felt sympathy to that baby deer, and he picked up from the water, and he gave it something to eat. And he gave he maintained that baby deer. And it was young, and it grew. And when it grew, he animal life, they have their own life, they do not stay for us, right? And Bharat Maharaj was so attached to that deer, he could have just maintained it, and he could have left that, because it has its own deer. Now that deer is going back other she deer, and this person is mad behind that deer and want to save. He's thinking, if I leave the deer, the tiger may eat it, or the foxes or any other wolf or something may make damage to this deer, and he is trying to protect. Wherever the deer goes, he is going behind that deer, and he is trying to protect. Okay, here you can see in this picture how he is doing yagna, but his whole concentration is in this deer. Okay, so much of attachment to this deer. And what happened at the time of death, and once this deer was not there, and he actually ran behind that deer. And here you can see, he fell from that hill point and died. And at the time of death, he remembered that deer. He did not remember what is this purpose while coming to the forest to attain the supreme. But he forgot the purpose. If he had to attach to that deer, why did he come to the forest to do yajna and left his children and wife in so much pain? It was better he would have stayed there, no? But at the time of death, while falling from the hill point, he actually remembered the deer, and next life you can see his soul is going to become a deer. Deer here, right? So in this way, he is a great person. Okay, he's not that we have to think him as less, because his stories are coming in Bhagavatam, and he just placed an example, and then he got liberated. Somehow the story continues further. Okay, so this is the story of Bharat Maharaj. So he said, so this is the best example for this sloka 8.6. At the time of death, whatever you remember, you will become so. Next, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha maya arpita mano buddhir ma maiveshyasya asamshayaha. Okay, therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna. At the same time, carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. So, Krishna is telling Arjuna, you're fighting here, so think about me and fight. Is it easy? It is very difficult, because to fight you want so much of anger. At that time you're thinking about Krishna means a great deal, right? And Krishna says, think about me, the form of Krishna, and fight, Arjuna, with your duty dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me. Keep your activities dedicated to Krishna and all your mind and intelligence fixed on Krishna. You will attain me without doubt. Okay, you will attain Krishna. Again he says, asamshaya, not doubt on me, whatever I'm saying the truth. Again he is saying, fixed upon me, mam evashyas. Okay, next here, abhyasa yoga yuktena etasa nanya gamina and paramam purusham divyam yati partanu chintayan. So here, he who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path. He, O Bharata, O Arjuna, he is sure to reach me. Okay, who has fixed his mind on Krishna, who has totally surrendered to Krishna, who he never deviate from the path, because he knows the only path is to attain the Supreme Lord, to go back to his abode and serve him. He knows this, and whoever knows this, he will never be deviated from the path of attaining Supreme. So here is the story of Ajamila. So now let's see how our mind deviates us. Okay, so this is the story of Ajamila. The story comes in Srimad Bhagavatam again. Okay, and this is the story of Ajamila, how he got entangled from his by his senses. Okay, so here he was a grahastha. Okay, he was a grahastha. He was a son of a famous priest in his village, and a very good person. Everybody in the village was praising him for his unique qualities he had, and he was a great brahmana and the son of a priest, and he was a grahastha. Okay, so one day there was a feast in the village, and his father was a priest, and he told his son Ajamila, go and bring some flowers from the forest. And he went to the forest, and in the forest, when he was plucking flowers, he could hear a man and a woman giggling here. Okay, so he was a grahastha. He knew what is going on there, but still his mind was actually saying him to look at that look at that scene. So he said no, he actually looked at it. He told, okay, 1 minute I can see that, right? So she was a prostitute and this was a drunkard man, and they were giggling and doing something, and he knew what was going on there, but still his mind was turbulent, and his mind actually constantly wanted to see that scene. And he actually said that I'll just see for 1 second what is going on. And he just saw, and further said that, okay, 1 minute, I'll see 1 minute what is happening. And like that, he actually, his senses were on that prostitute, and he said that, oh, such a beautiful prostitute, I want her in my home, such a great brahmana. He's saying like this because in the second chapter we saw, no, Krishna is telling, when the senses are not controlled, and when senses are what you say, they're actually engaged in something, the lust occurs. And when the lust occurs, the anger will come, and when the anger comes, the mind doesn't work, and when mind is restless, your intelligence does not work, and then he falls down. In the same way, his mind is now turbulent. He is in lust now to see that prostitute and make a relationship with her. So he actually thought of bringing her to the home, and he actually saw that why she is with the drunkard, why she is not with me. And he thought of bringing her to the home, and he actually brought her home, and his wife, his parents came to know about this. They left their home, the parents left the home, and the whole village was putting a very bad image on Ajamila because he did this. Because uh, brahmanas, they have to be very pure, and now he is indulged with the prostitute. Every day he wants something from the prostitute, and he used to drink with the prostitute. And he got a son, and he did not get only one son, he got dozens of children with him. And at the age of 80 he had a small child. You can think, at the age of 80, how bad that is, to even have a son, at that young son, small son. And somehow he kept that younger son, the smallest son, the name Narayana. Okay. And he used to always be with that son. And every parents, their younger sons are very dear to them. So he used to always say, Narayana, have you have lunch? Narayana, where are you going? Narayana, Narayana. He used to do this every day. And at the age of when he was almost old, he is now in the bed out of his diseases. Okay. Now at the time of death, he actually he calls his son Narayana, and he calls out loudly. And at that time, he could see Yamadutas coming and carrying him. See here, he is in the bed, Jamila, and Yamadutas are here to capture him because he has done so much sin. He has drunk, he has eaten meat, he has looted people because of that prostitute, and because of that prostitute, he has done many sinful activities, indulged with her. Okay, so Yamadutas are coming to take him to Naraka, hellish planets, to actually punish him. So after some while, these Vishnu Dutas come here. And Vishnu Dutas come here, and Yamadutas ask, why have you come here? And the Vishnu Dutas says, because Ajamila has taken the name of Narayana, so we consider him to be pious, and we are coming here to take him back to Vaikuntha. And Yamadutas are like, why have you come here? And he is so sinful person. He has done so many activities. He has left his wife. He has left his parents in the old age. Such a sinful person. You're telling just by saying Narayana, all his sins are gone. And the conversation goes on in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is briefly written, and Yamadutas go back to Yamraj and ask what is this, and Yamraj also explains the same thing. Whoever takes the chants the name of the Lord constantly, he is not touched by any Yamadutas. So this is the story of Ajamila, and they did not directly take Ajamila because he was yet the sinful, right? So Vishnuduta said, Ajamila, we will give a chance. We will give another chance to you. Go and do devotional service, which you were doing before seeing that prostitute. And and again Ajamila leaves to the Haridwar, and then he actually he leaves that prostitute, all his children, and goes to the Haridwar and does devotional service to the Lord. And then again the Vishnu Dutas come and take him back to the kingdom of the Lord. And he is also not a ordinary person. He is also good. He is also a great transcendental. Just to give an example, he was put in such a situation here. And we must not say that, oh, at the time of death I can say Narayana and leave my body, and Vishnu Dutas will come and save me. No, he was already in the Krishna consciousness, but by some kind of mistake, 1 second, the whole life got disaster. Okay, once 1 second of sense indulgence in something, he actually lost his whole life. Whole life was destroyed by that one. He was by mistakenly dragged by the mind and senses. He was not purposefully. If we try to do purposefully, Krishna is more intelligent than us. He knows everything. And now he has been taken back to the kingdom of the Lord, and he is again in this form. Okay, this is the story of Ajamila. So first story we understood about the Yudhishthira's thing, and then we understood about Bharat Maharaj, how Bharat Maharaj's story. It is also coming in Bhagavatam, and this is story, Ajamila's story is also coming in Bhagavatam. And 8.9, okay, one should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as one who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is the smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like sun, and being transcendental is beyond the material nature. Okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows everything. He knew that Ajamila had been by mistakenly fallen into the sense enjoyment. And if we do purposefully such things, he knows everything. He won't give you, if you are doing, any teacher gives you marks for being doing cheating, no, right? And Krishna won't give that. And he knows everything. What is in the past, what will be happening in the future, what is happening in the present. He knows everything. And he is the oldest, but he doesn't have the beard, because he is always young. He is all the oldest. He is the origin of everything. He is always the Sham Sundar. He is always the beautiful form of the Lord. Okay, and there is no even only we have that kind of a old age where we are suffering the old age, but God does not have that form. He is eternal. His body is eternal. He has 200 forms, and his body is eternal. His body is spiritual, not like us. Okay, he is the controller of everything. He is the smaller than the smallest, who is even smaller than the atoms, even smaller than that, who is a maintainer of everything, who is beyond all the material conceptions, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is not something energy. Most of them think God means something energy, but Krishna says, no, I am a person, because all the things are all have a kind of shape for them, all have hands, all have legs, whatever I have created, all have been a what you say, X-ray copy of us, because Krishna is also a 200 form. All of us have 200 form, all humans. So Krishna says, I am also a person, I am not something energy. Okay, he has a body which is spiritual, not like us. Material body only we have, not Krishna. Krishna have a spiritual body. His body is itself a spiritual. So everybody here, Brahma is praying to Lord Vishnu when he says when the Lord, the Bhumi, the Devi comes to Brahma and Shiva asks for protection. They say, we can't protect you and we will pray to Vishnu so that he can come as some kind of avatar, and Krishna can take avatar here in this world and do some do something for these demons. And he actually prays to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, to appear in this world. And Vishnu says, I will appear in my original form, which is Krishna. Okay, and Brahma, he could not always. Vishnu used to come in front of all the devatas, but this time he did not come. So Brahma sat on meditation and called Vishnu. Here again, Shiva is meditating on Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, and here Parvati is asking, "You're all powerful. You need not do anything, Lord Shiva. But who are you always meditating on?" So Lord Shiva says in Bhagavatam that he is always meditating on Lord Vishnu because he is the power of everything. Okay, I may be the powerful, but my power is Lord Krishna. Okay, and here, Mamupetya Punarjanma Dukkalayam Ashashvatam Nanu Upanti Mahatmanah Samsiddhim Paramam Gatim. Okay, so after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world. Like this jail, these people are coming out of this jail, no? Are trying to go out of this jail. In the same way, whoever does the devotional service never returns to this temporary misery world. Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, the place of misery, and the places which is temporary. Okay, from the highest planet in this material world down to the lowest, from the Brahma Loka to the down to this this world, down to the hellish planets, everything is temporary. Every place is misery. Even Brahma has misery, even the hellish planets has misery, and even the earth has misery. Heaven at war. Heaven is always at war. Earth and hell is always painful. Okay, so this is the calculation of Brahmas in 8.17 to 19. By human calculation, a thousand's age taken together in the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also duration of night. So Brahma's one day means 3 million years of earth. So even 3 million years as day and 3 million years as night. So total is 6 million years for Brahma, and again if you take the year, it will become still further more. So when Brahma's day is manifested, this multitude of living entities come into being, and arrival of Brahma's night, all is annihilated. When Brahma gets up in the morning, okay, for 3 million years ago, he actually brings living entities into existence, into this world. And again, when the evening comes to Brahma, again after 3 million years ago, he actually annihilates everything into him, again back. Again and again, day comes and the host of being is active. And again the night comes, oh Partha, this is helplessly dissolved. So we are helpless because Brahma gets up, he does the work, he is actually putting all the living entities into that world. And again at night, he destroys everything, not everything, even he has to live, no? He actually puts some kind of annihilation in everything. He puts small pralayas in every brahmandas, in his brahmanda, every planets, and he annihilates everything. And again he brings everything into existence. So Krishna says, helplessly they are again taken birth, again given a kind of existence, again they are annihilated. Helplessly they are doing this. And here in 8.20, yet there is another nature which is eternal and which is transcendental. So Krishna first explains about this thing, how material nature from upper to the lower, everything is a place of misery. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Again, from the Brahmaloka to the hellish planets, everything is temporary. Every place is of misery. And then he says how Brahma creates this world, not entirely, because Brahmaloka is also created from Vishnu. So he will not annihilate his own loka, but he will annihilate all other small lokas, and he uh, annihilates. And then in 8.20, Krishna says, yet there is another nature which is eternal and transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested world. There is no manifestation and unmanifestation in that world, which is the supreme abode of the Lord. It is supreme and he is neither annihilated. When in this world all is annihilated and part remains as it is. So when everything is annihilated, even Brahmaloka, even Brahma, this world, the special world over here, is not annihilated. It is transcendental. What is it? Vaikuntha or Goloka. It is above all this 14 planetary system. It is above this. Okay. Let's see the Goloka chart. I will share the PDF of Goloka chart in the group, so you can go through that. So here, this last part you can see here, black one, black circle. So this is 14 planetary system. Okay, and here is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, which is giving all the planetary system in life, and ultimately Brahma. Brahma is creating something in this 14 planetary systems. He is not creating the entire thing. He is just creating, home is already there. Home is already there. You are given apartment. You are just decorating and taking the unwanted things. Only Brahma is doing those things. He is not creating the entire thing. He is there because Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is already there here. And this is Garbhodakshaya ocean. Okay, and all the 14 planetary systems are here. And about this is Shiva's loka. It is already eternal. He is not what you say. It cannot be destroyed. Shiva's loka. So here again he comes as Shambhu here. He is Sadashiva in the spiritual world, and when he comes to the contact with the material world, he becomes Rudra. So even Shiva is changing himself according to the situations. And then here is Kshirodakshaya, which is actually who is actually giving all the Brahmanas. Like this is Veda, there is other Brahmanas. I'm just brushing up to you. Even in the second level, you can further, still more deeply, you can understand this. Okay, and this, so this is Brahmalokas and all the 14 planetary systems. Here is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and this Shirodakshaya Vishnu is sitting in everybody's heart as Paramatma. Okay, every living entities, even Brahmas, he is living in every entity. And then is Shivaloka, and then Mahadev, and then it is further going to Vaikuntha. There is no much difference between Vaikuntha and Goloka because both are eternal, and both are, there is no much difference between Krishna and Vishnu because both are one and the same. And the thing is, one is having the sweet pastimes with his devotees, who is Krishna here, doing 5 rasas: Madhurya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Sakya rasa, Dasya rasa, and Shanta rasa. Okay, these are 5 rasas, and topmost, the consort of Lord Krishna is Radharani, and who is not separate from him. So this is from then comes Vaikuntha. When Krishna turns into Lord Vishnu, Radharani turns into goddess Lakshmi, who is Mahalakshmi. And then again, this further comes down to when here is Sadashiva, and then Vishnu turns into 3. One is Karnodakashaya Vishnu, Mahavishnu, and Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, who is in everybody's heart, and Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, who is giving the life for all this 14 planetary system, including Brahma. Okay, we will. I'll send you the PDF of this. You can know that very clearly. What is all this planetary systems? Okay, these are the rasas. Here it is Shanta rasa. Krishna is always with engaged in animals, and all this are Shanta rasas. When what you have at the time of death, you think, I want to become a cow for Krishna. I want to serve him as a cow. Yes, you can become a cow. That is Shanta rasa. Above that is Sakya, Dasya rasa. You want to serve the Lord. And above that is Sakya rasa. You want to play with the Lord. You want to have sweet pastimes with the Lord. And then above that is Vatsalya rasa, what Yashoda Maya is doing. She is like a parent and all elderly gopis. And then above that is Madhurya rasa, which is ultimate and which is Radharani's. And all the gopis of Vrindavan gives pleasure to the Lord. So that is about Goloka, where we all want to go there. So here in Mukundamala Stotra, it is said, "O Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus flower-like feet, just as the flamingo enters into the labyrinth and of the lotus flowers stem. When at the moment of my last breath, my throat becomes constricted by the action of my bodily human air, bile, and phlegm. And how will I able to remember you?" So he is asking, at the time of death is very difficult, Krishna, to even breathe, and how can I remember to you? So here, a person Vedeshu Yagneshu Tapasu Chaiva Dhaneshu Yat Punya Phalam Pradishtam Atyeti Tam Sarvam Idam Viditva Yogin Param Sthanam Upaiti Chadyam. Okay, he says a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results of deriving from studying of the Vedas, performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, of pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. So, a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not so he is not attached to any kind of his mind is not bewildered by any kind of fruitive activities from the Vedas, because he knows at the end he will reach the supreme abode which is above all this. Okay, this is a last shloka of this chapter 2.28, and Krishna says, you will certainly reach me because you will do devotional service unto me, only me. Okay, so here the summary. Let's see the summary of chapter 8. 8 questions by Arjuna answered, 8.1 to 8.4. And then remembering Krishna at the time of death. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Okay, at the time of death, you have to remember Krishna. And you have to remember Krishna because if you want to go back to Krishna and want to serve him, which is the only thing in this whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says you have to reach me. That's it. And that's what Krishna is telling. And in 8.5 to 8.8, he says remembering Krishna at the time of death. Then remembering Krishna by Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Okay, then remembering Krishna by pure Bhakti. Like doing the yoga bhakti, and then you are actually doing the pure bhakti. Dukkalayam ashashvatam. This world is very terrible place to live, and you have to do devotional service to the Lord. Through that you will remember Krishna. Entire life you do just the devotional service, you will remember Krishna. Material world versus spiritual world. Parastasmastu bhavonyu. Okay, what is the material world from Brahmaloka, from the upper to the upper planets and to the lowest of the lower planets, from the hellish planets. Everything is done here. And supremacy of pure bhakti is attained by Krishna, attaining Krishna. So what is the ultimate goal of our life? Is to attain Krishna. Yes. You could hear me, right? 1 second, I'll just come. Admins, any questions?
No, Mataji. We don't have any questions in the general chat. Maybe you can check the direct messages. Yeah.
So today we will do mind control techniques. Many of them are waiting, no, mind control techniques. So today bridge course is mind control techniques.
Mataji, do you want to make the announcement now or after the mind control session?
Yes, Mataji. I think so. You can tell it better, I guess, about that.
So regarding the level 2, Mataji?
Yeah. And the personal, no.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. We've sent out a feedback form couple of days, and most of you have responded to us, and some of you have reached out asking for personal assistance. And some of us admins are in touch with you. Please feel free to uh, contact us if you have any doubts, if you don't understand anything which is discussed in the class, because we have a limited time frame, right, for the session. And those of you who is finding difficulty in solving the quizzes also, we all are there. So you can contact the respective admins who are in touch with you. Okay, so that was one thing. The second thing is now whatever we are seeing, or we are touching in this 18 days is just it's just a tip of an iceberg, you can consider. So we are just touching the flow of thoughts in Bhagavad Gita. And from the feedback, we could understand many of you want to go deeper into understanding the concepts. Yeah, so for that, we have another level, which is level 2. So whatever we are going through now is level 1. So level 2 course will be available for people who are really interested to know a little more of Bhagavad Gita in depth. And for this, one criteria is you have to complete the quiz. So after you complete the quiz, you will be eligible to get the pass certification for level 1. And that's the criteria for level 2. And it's again a free course. And you have options to pick from multiple languages and timings. So we will share the details going forward. Another thing we wanted to share is there is a study group which we are going to form. So all the devotees who have actually already informed us about the personal assistance, we will group you into small study groups, and this study group will be called as Bhakti Vrikshas. And in Bhakti Vriksha, you will have a mentor who will be a senior devotee, and also admins. These people will be in touch with you, and will help you understand the concept better. And the concept of Bhakti Vriksha is like to form a study circle where people can freely interact, ask their questions. um, okay, and they will be connecting weekly once. So if anybody is interested to be part of Bhakti Vriksha, it is a very good opportunity to interact with pure devotees, and share your thoughts, and you can have open discussion with them. So these are the 3 points which we wanted to inform. And we will send out a final survey towards the end of our session, where you will be able to pick one of these options, whether you wanted to repeat level 1. See, those people who are not able to make it for all the sessions, if they want, they can again repeat the session in the next month. And once they're done, they are comfortable with level 1, they can, and interested, they can opt to level 2. So like that, we have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Level 4 is called as Bhakti Shastri. So where you will actually learn in detail every sloka of Bhagavad Gita. So that's a
Yes.
long way to go, but yeah, this
Yeah.
is in a nutshell.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare
So,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for explaining. So we have a kind of levels in Bhagavad Gita. So this is actually, I'm rushing this because I don't have enough time. So each and every shlokas are covered, and whoever wants to learn the shlokas, you can actually, it actually benefits in level 2, because level 2 we have shloka reciting also, and we can read Bhagavad this purpose in the study self group, because a self study group, because these classes are limited, and for 1 hour, 1.5 hour is a big thing to even stay up here. Okay. Yes. So there's someone who's asking, the quizzes are not okay. Mataji, you just handle it. Okay, quizzes, and tell that to Pradosh Prabhu. He will help us in that.
And
So
one more thing,
yes.
Mataji, there's one more question from Mayank Prabhuji. So he wanted to see the 8 questions which was shared in the beginning, the 4th slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one, no, Prabhu.
Yes. Yeah, 4th, and he wanted more explanation on the 4th point, Adibhuta, material nature.
Adibhuta, material nature.
Yes.
So Arjuna asked 8 kind of questions, no? O supreme person, what is Brahman? What is the self? And what is the fruitive activity? And what is the material manifestations? So material manifestations are the material nature, the senses, the nature of this world, the material natures, and all this. Like I have given the example here, right? So I am now seeing this. I'm actually writing or speaking. So I'm speaking. I'm using the mouth to speak. That is material manifestation of Lord. So this body is material now, right? So I'm now speaking. So Adhyatma, the controller of the body. Now, who is controlling the speech? I cannot be separated from my speech, right? Who is controlling the speech is me. I'll speak. I'll do this material thing, like material nature. Last class we discussed about 8 kind of inferior nature of the Lord, inferior energies of the Lord, which is earth, water, fire, ether, and earth, water, fire. Then we have other things like mind, intelligence, and false ego. So 8 things, and we all are using those material natures. And now I am giving example, like I am speaking now, right? I cannot be separated from my speech. I have to be I have to control that speech. Now how to speak, how much to speak, I know. That is Adhyatma, the controller of the body. Who is controlling this body is the jiva, because the self inside that jiva, I'm controlling this thing. So material manifestation is the body, and who is controlling the body? The jiva. And who is giving the power, or who is giving the power to control this? I'm speaking, I'm controlling the speech. I have the power to, I'm controlling the speech, but the power of controlling is given by some kind of demigod. Okay, some kind of demigod. In the universal form, we can see when Krishna shows the universal form to Arjuna, all the demigods are actually in his hands, legs, and all these things. Each one of the, all the demigods are coming from the body of the Lord. So he is a universal form which includes all the demigods. Okay, so he's saying that the material manifestation, which is all the senses, all the things which have all the bodily parts and all this, I am the controlling, I am the doer, I'm the seer, I'm the listener, but who is giving the power to do so is the demigod Adi Daiva. So he's actually explaining these things, and it is answered in further like 8 point here 8.1, 8.2, no, 8.3 and the things are there. So he's actually giving the answers in this 8.3, 8.4 in the purport you can read. So I'm telling you, right, come to level 2, because every purport is discussed, not just speak, and I'm here speaking to you, right? I'm actually giving lecture. In the level 2, actually it is discussed more and more in detail, so it will help you for further studies. Okay, I hope the answer you got, Mind Prabhu. Yes. Uh, yeah, I can go to, I think so, mind control techniques. Most of them are waiting. There are 27 techniques in mind control. So you can see the screen, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, just
Yeah, the questions from Bhagavad Gita chapter, today's chapter. Or else I'll go for mind control techniques.
yeah. The
No,
power
I
of
didn't.
habits is what we see.
Yes, Mataji?
Yeah, the power of habits is what we
Yeah,
see.
yeah. So this is the starting. The power of habit. Being a slave of bad habit or a servant of a good habit is your choice. So mind. How does mind work now? Let's see. Okay, we make our habits and habits make us. Okay, I have kind of a good habits, it will make me a good person, as I have a bad habit which will make me a bad person. So you develop a habit and habit will make you a kind of a person. Okay, now let's see what Srila Prabhupada is telling. In Bhagavad Gita 6.6, he says, one who cannot control his mind lives always with the greatest enemy, and thus his life is and its mission are spoiled. The constitutional position of the living entity is to carry out the orders of the superior. As long as one's mind remains an unconquered enemy, one has to serve the dictation of lust, anger, avarice, and illusion, etc. Because when the mind is conquered, one voluntarily agrees to abide by the dictation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated within the heart of everyone. So, one, you become the slave of your mind, or who is actually dictating you with lust, anger, illusion. Okay, but or else you can become the servant of the Lord, who is situated within your heart, who has a loving exchange with you. Okay, so there are two kinds. So I'll just go further in, yeah, need of mind control. Need of mind control. 1 second. Yes, sorry for the disturbance. Okay, need for mind control. Modern society. What is some of the common facts in the modern society? Let's see what is. So, why are these things happening? Always on the rise, like murder cases, suicide cases, violence, drug addiction, corruption, mental stress, divorce. Everything is in the high peak of a peak nowadays, right? Violence, public unrest. Every time there is kind of a strike or something is happening in this world. So wars, every time one country on upper and upon another country, terrorism steadily increase every year. Every year we do not see these things decreasing, we see increasing these things. So what are the main problems facing in this human society today is, first one is crimes. And how does crime occur? Lack of morality. Number of drug users in European Union, 7.4 millions. Number of serious drug addicts in European Union is 1.8 millions of people. So divorces per 100 marriages. Here you can see the numberings and suicide cases in Japan, and in USA so much. This is actually the old PDS. I think so nowadays still more is happening. And even in India also, we can see almost 10% of Indian GDP is contribution from the alcohol, gambling and tobacco industries. Are we really advancing? So we see, advancing, and we are advancing in technology. Is this the real advancing? Okay. Why is there so much of chaos and confusion in the society? Okay. So Srila Prabhupada says that with the pack of dogs in a room, how can we expect peace? So you have so much dogs in one room, so there will be quarrels, right? Because they don't have any other work than to bark. And Krishna in 6.6 says, Bandhu Ratmanas Tasya Yenat Maivatmana Jitau Annat Manastu Chatrutve Vartetvamaiva Chaturvat. So here, for he who has conquered the mind is the best friend, best of his friends. So who has failed to do so, his mind is really a greatest enemy. Enemy from outside we can control, but what will we do when the enemy is sitting inside us, and that is mind. So uncontrolled mind. What are the symptoms of uncontrolled mind? Lack of confidence, loss of trust, madness, damage oneself and family and society, and depression, stress, all these kind of things. All this. What can it do to you? So uncontrolled mind, what can it do to you? These all things. And then how can we expect peace and happiness? So with uncontrolled mind, how can we expect peace and happiness? When your mind is uncontrolled, your intelligence is gone, and because of this, more immoral activities are happening in the society. And the solution of this problem is controlled mind. Okay. So here we will divide, like this is how the division is made. So first is body, this gross body, and then is mind inside it, and then is soul, which is it is eternal. So body, what does Krishna says? Body is made up of 5 things, gross things. So what does he say in the 7th chapter? So earth, water, fire, air and ether. Body is made up of this. And then the mind, it is made up of 3 things, which is the subtle body, which is made up of 3 things, which is mind, intelligence and false ego. And then what is the soul? What does soul consist? What does soul have? It is Satchidananda Rupa. So Krishna says, all the Vedic Shastra says soul is a Satchidananda Rupa. So Satchidananda means Sat means eternal. We say Sanatan. Sat means eternal. Soul is eternal. And Chit means intelligent or knowledge, full of knowledge. And then bliss, Ananda. Okay. Satchit Ananda. Here you can see body, soul is covered by subtle and gross body. So soul inside inside this body, there is this gross body. There is mind, intelligence, and false ego, which is called a subtle body. And inside that we have the soul, which is Satchidananda. And if you don't control your subtle body, you cannot control your gross body, and you cannot understand the soul. Okay. There are 3 methods. Today we will discuss on physical methods of controlling mind control techniques. Physical method, mental method and spiritual method. Mental method tomorrow we discuss, and spiritual method after that class. So physical method. So physical method, we normally tend to physical method. Yogasanas, pranayama, then kriyas, sitting postures. All this normally we are set to do these things when our mind is distressed. Do some yogasana, do some pranayama, do some breathing activities, kriyas and all these things. So first is eating and sleeping. When you control your eating and sleeping, we say no jaisa an vaisa man. So how what you eat, what you think, it is connected. Okay, so sleeping early to bed and early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise. We have this proverb, no? So food. Let's see what does food means. In Bhagavad Gita, in the 17th chapter, from 8 to 10, Krishna says, food in the mode of goodness increases duration of the life, purifies one's existence, and gives strength, health, and happiness and satisfaction. Mode of goodness, sattvic food, sattvic ahar, it gives you strength, it makes you purified, it makes you healthy, strong. And then the tamasic food, which is too sweet, too sour, or too fattening things, it will actually makes you too dry in the world. And ratsic food, they increase your ratsic capacity or ratsic qualities in you. And then tamasic food, which is stale, tasteless, and decomposed and unclean. So like wine or alcohol, they keep for many months. That is also stale, decomposed, such bad drinks or such bad food. So here, food cooked more than 3 hours before eating, it is tamasic food in the mode of ignorance. Eat sattvic food. It's better you eat. It's best you eat sattvic food to control your mind, because that's an vasaman, and offer it to the Lord. Lord only eats sattvic food, okay, without onion and garlic. Urgency to importance. So here there is a quadrant which is which are types of 4 types. Like first one is important and urgent, second is urgent and not important, third is not urgent and not important, and fourth one is important but not urgent. So let's see now studies. What is it? Important, non urgent, or urgent, not important? Which is it? Okay, studies will go here. Important and not so urgent, but it is important. Cigarettes, smoking, bad habits, it is not urgent and not even important. Exams are important and urgent, because tomorrow you have exam, you can't neglect that. And then parties are doing parties, where does it go? Urgent and not important. Not important though. Cleaning your room, important but not so urgent. So here let's see, exams, deadlines driven for the project, medical emergency, they are important but not but urgent also. Then wrong calls, spams, interruptions, they're urgent but not so important. Then not urgent, not important, weekend parties, cigarettes, drugs, gamblings. And then important but not so urgent is daily studies, cleanliness, keeping accounts, EQ and SQ. So what does this quadrant mean? This is actually time management matrix. So let's see what does it say. So important and urgent, it is procrastinator, stress and anxiety, burnout, mediocre performance. Then the yes man things, urgent but not so important. Reputation for being a pleaser. So every time some people are there, no, everything they give, they say yes, I'll do. So they are actually pleasers. Then lack of discipline, feeling like doormat for others, to wipe their feet on. Okay, these things just for the use, you are just used by them. So next is not urgent and not so important. The slackers, lack of responsibilities, guilt, flakiness. And then is the prioritizers. So control your life, balanced, high performance, like cleaning your room and studies and all these things. So next is liquid beauty. There is a story over here which says that there was a prince and there was a girl in that kingdom, and she was very beautiful and she did not have a parents, and this prince was to always go to her home and ask her for marriage, and she was reluctant because she knew that this prince is not worthy, or this prince will just use her. She knew that, and she was always delaying that thing. She was not telling no because she knows she will be dead. If she says no, she will be killed. And she used to tell, and one day he forcibly said her, you have to marry me, and she's told, yes, I will marry you, but not now, 15 days later. So when the prince came 15 days later, she was like this. So what did she do in 15 days? She ate those, loose motion tablets, and she did not eat for 15 days, and she took her all weight, and she was just 25 kgs. So you can imagine how 25 kgs, they are almost like a skeletons, right? They look like that, and she was lesser than that weight also, even 25 kgs. So he when he came here, he could not recognize this girl. So he asked that girl, where is that girl which I wanted to marry her? So she said, I am that girl. So that prince said, no, no, that girl was so beautiful. She says, oh, beauty. I'll show you where is the beauty. She takes him to a corner and shows these two pots. One was with full of the shit, and one was with vomit. She says, this is what beauty is. In 15 days, I took all the beauty. You better go with this. Take this to your home, take this to your kingdom, and keep it there. Because whatever you saw beauty in me is this. We are pack of blood and bones. She says, we have urine and we have stool in ourselves. That's it. That is what beauty means. The mind just tells us this is beautiful, this is not beautiful. But actually, there is nothing more than a pack of bones in us. So here you can see the difference, right? So this is our face, but even exactly like two nose, two eyes, one mouth, 2 ears, even same thing even a cow has. There's no difference. So mind actually makes us to think in such a way. So the fourth technique is, let's see a story here. So brahmachari and a rat. So there was a brahmachari in one of the Gurukul, and his master gave him a book to read. Okay, gave him a book to read, and he told, I will be not there for 1 month. You have to complete this book, reading this book, and I'll come after 1 month and ask you how much have you read. So this brahmachari, okay, master, I'll read. Then he had all other brahmachari friends also. But in his hermitage, in his hut, there was a problem. There was a rat. Okay, there was a rat in his hut, and it used to bite his dhotis. It used to tear his dhotis, and he had only few dhotis because he is a brahmachari. He does not have money. He has only some dhotis, and he used to always take more time on capturing. He told other brahmachari friends that, see, I have this rat in my home and it is disturbing me. So what should I do? So he told. So other brahmacharis told, it is taking time and you are not able to read it, right? So why don't you bring a cat? Cat will eat rat and it will be satisfied. You are also satisfied, cat is also satisfied. So he thought, yes, this would be the great idea. And he brought a cat. And now cat is chasing this rat and trying to eat it. But cat is, although it is behind that rat, but it also needs something for its food, right? It wants milk to drink. And this brahmachari tells other brahmacharis after bringing this cat, see, I have brought the cat, and the rat's case is now almost, it is solved. But the thing is, cat there, no, it is actually giving me trouble. It is not making me to read, because it's actually constantly asking me for, you know to give milk or to bring something to eat, and it is not leaving me to read the book. So all the other brahmacharis tell, okay, fine, you bring a cow, it will give you the milk. So he brought the cow, and he was taking that the milk and giving to the cat. Cat is now satisfied, but the cow. So he said, okay, I brought the cow, but I have to read this book, no? So I have to maintain this cow also. So if I maintain this cow, then I may not get the time to read books. So Brahmacharya told him that, okay, fine, you marry. Your wife will see the cow and take care of this cow. Then he thought, yes, this would be the best idea, and he got married. And after that, he thought, okay, now I'll read the book. But wife's demand, I want children, I want that and this. And he went for, brahmachari to grahas brahmachari, and then he is actually doing all this, work for his wife, so that he can give something to wife. And then he had so many children. So when the guru came back to the after months, when he came back, he actually saw, after 1 year, he actually saw this brahmachari carrying his children with him, and he asked what happened. So he narrated the whole story to the guru, and that is how our life is, right? When we have decided something, but our mind is constantly troubling us. Constantly it is telling us to do something else. Now I say, okay, I'll read Bhagavad Gita, I'll open my book. Mind is saying, no, you have to do that first. That's your priority. Okay, I'll do that. No, when I do that thing, the mind says, no, you do something else. That is a priority. So mind is constantly trying us to distract us. That's the whole thing, the whole concept of mind. Like brahmachari, we are also entangled in this. So this way, the mind, when you understand the mind, you will actually come to know how the mind is working and how can you control it. So you should know what is priority to you. Not everything what mind says you will go on doing that. And fifth is circle of concern and circle of influence. You must understand what are these two. It is not what happens to us, but our response to what happens to us hurts us. So, okay, it's not that something bad is happening to us. It's not that which is troubling us, but what is troubling us is what something bad is happening to us, and we are reacting to it, and how we are responding to it. It actually hurts us or gives us some kind of returns. Okay, so now influence. Let's see the influence, circle of concern. So what you are concerned about? So you're concerned about results. You're concerned about, ugly looking boy, or you may think, oh, people are saying me ugly. Your people are upon my results. They are having a view on my results. My public image, my smartness, people teasing you, people's love for you. Everything is concern. Circle of concern. Then circle of influence. What is influencing this? Punctuality, sincerity, self-discipline, exam studies. Okay, this is circle of influence. What is influencing and what is your concern? So when you study for exam, your results is your concern. Influence, your study, result, the concern is results. Punctuality, and then sincerity, self-discipline. And then this is proactive and reactive behavior. Proactive people focus on circle of influence and work on things which can do something about. Okay, so as I explained here, So here there are two types of people who are more concerned about circle of concern and who are more on circle of influence. These are called proactive people. These are called reactive things, behavior of the people. So proactive people, what do they do? Focus on circle of influence. They focus on this. Am I punctual? Am I sincere? Am I self-disciplined? Am I coming to every class? Am I punctual to the class? Am I studying my exams whenever there is? And am I doing so and so? And work on things they can do about. So here they can do these things and they are focusing on those. So they are called proactive people. Now what is reactive people? Focus on circle of concern, focus on weakness and faults of other people. So circle of concern, they are called reactive people. Now who are reactive people? You cannot do anything about this. You can change here, but you cannot do anything. You're ugly looking. Yes, I am ugly looking. You cannot do anything. That's others people reactions on you. My public image. I can improve my public image, but what other people see, I cannot change that. My smartness. And you're most of the things you're focusing on this and you're neglecting this. And most of the proactive people, they are focusing on this, automatically this will improve. Okay. So in a proactive, inside out, I can be more patient. I can be more cooperative. I can be wise. Okay. Reactive, outside in. So if I had respectful friends, if I had better face cut, if I had more cooperation from my colleagues. This is if I had. This what you can be. So this can be changed by you, but this cannot be changed. So proactive people focus on what they can change and not what they would have changed. Because if this changes, this will automatically change for the further future. So problem solving, break free. So problems, direct control problems involving your own behavior. Solution work on improvements of your habits. So problems in your behavior means you have certain types of habits. So improve your habits. So now I did not have habit of get up early, but now I have put that habit so that my behavior will change. So although my mind does not want to get up early in the morning, does not allow me to get up in the early, but I'll put a habit that it does not. So direct control. Indirect control, problems involving others person's behavior. Now this is problems in your own behavior. How is the solution? Put your habits. So next is other person's behavior. You are having problems involving others person's behavior. Improve method of influence. So association, influence, thereby increasing your circle of influence inside out and not outside in. Okay. So circle of influence, you have to change circle of influence. No control, problem we can do nothing about. Smile and learn to live with these problems. So first is what you can control and your behavior. In your behavior, you can actually put a habit of it. Or how to improve your behavior, put a good habit, improve your habits. What you can do for others' behavior, you have to improve the method of influence. That show the circle of influence. No, you have to focus on that more. And then there is a problem which you cannot do anything. Okay, fine, smile and learn it from that, and live to learn with the problems. So the meaning of the prayer. Oh Lord, give me the courage to change the things which can and although ought to be changed. The serenity or to accept the things which cannot be changed and wisdom to know the difference. So tomorrow let's study about mental methods. Tomorrow. Today we discussed about physical method. Okay. So physical method, we understood about how the mind is there and how can we change through eating and how can we prioritize our work so that mind does not scatter everywhere. And then we learned how mind actually works. Liquid beauty, okay, it actually says one for it's beauty or one is not beautiful. So it's minds actually work, but everything is same. Only mind tells us this. And then we learned how the brahmacharis, our mind constantly tries to disturb us every time. It says new ideas when we are trying to do. Then circle of concern and circle of influence. How the circle of influence and how the circle of concern works. One is proactive, one is reactive. This thing is reactive, and here you can change. Here you cannot change or may not change. Then here is proactive, focus on the circle of influence, and then focus on the circle of concern, inside out and outside in. I can be more patient. I can be here. You can be here. Here you cannot change. It had already happened. And problems. If I have problems in my behavior, I can improve it through my habits. If I have problems with others' behavior, I can change or improve the circle of influence. If I have problems which I cannot control, it's beyond my control. Okay, learn to live with it. Okay, and here is the prayer, meaning of prayer. So yes, so I'll stop this screen sharing. Tomorrow we will do mental techniques, how to control mind through mental techniques. Okay, there are 27 techniques. Today we dealt with 5 techniques. Yes, so yes, Mataji, we can close this session. I guess it's already time now. 7:30.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Any questions on this?
Yes,
I'll try to
there
share
is a
the
question. Yeah, there's a question from Shubham Prabhuji. Mataji, I can be in the circle of influence, but how I can be achieved?
through your habits. So you have to put. So like I said, my example, I said I cannot get up in the morning. So it's by my habits, and I have to control this mind, saying that you just now shut your mouth and listen to me. That's the whole thing I do normally. Okay, so I actually say this to my mind every morning. You have to listen to me before I say anything. Like before it starts disturbing me, I'll say it. You have to listen to me. Okay, this is how I can be achieved. Okay. Yes. No questions. Most of them tell. Okay, let's stop this. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you everybody for patiently hearing. And
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji. Thank you for
Hare Krishna,
hosting.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna everybody. Hare Krishna.